So welcome folks, I'm Olano Teah Bloh, prefers to be called the Guru B, and today I'm going to be drilling you through an exercise on Python programming. So we're going to be doing an exercise about making a calculator, like something that we can use to add numbers, divide numbers, subtract, and whatever. So just a basic calculator, kind of like just a simple one. And we're going to be using Python programming to do this. So to actually understand much more about this example, you can make some research on functions and arguments. What is function, what is argument, and also a user defined function. So this example is basically centered around these three topics. But let's just go into business, right? So I have with me here my editor, but I have also the subline text. This is another one that I use, but today I'm going to be using Python, new and Python 5. So we can put a name here and say winter calculator.py. But you're not compatible with py because it's a kind of Python file. So all you do is just put the name of the program here, and other ways you can do it. So firstly, we're going to synchronize this to my GitHub. So firstly, we're going to define all of the functions we're going to be using for this program. So we want to use like basically 4 different functions of mathematics: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So because we want to use that, we have to define it in our program. So we say let's define it, right? This hashtag is just something we use to illustrate a comment in a program, like to give a proper description about what that particular line is doing in a program. So program to calculate numbers, right? And so we define addition. We can define addition as ADD. So our first variable is x and y, and so we can return x and a y to be x plus y. So we define addition. We can also define subtraction. Subtract x and y and return x plus y. We also define multiplication, x plus y, and say return x. Nope, there's a mistake here. Multiplication here is under this, so not use plus here. It should be minus x minus y, and multiplication is x times y. Then which one is left? Division. Define division is a divide x y, and you return x divided by y. So now we have defined all of the functions, and we now going to give something that the user can see on the screen to be able to differentiate, because they are not going to see out of these functions we have just defined. So we want them to see something that they can know that this is addition, and this is for subtraction, and this is for multiplication. So we're going to define something and say let's print something out on the screen and say choose your operator, choose your operator, right? And our operators here we're going to define and say in print if you choose 1 for addition, right? You have to say print if you choose 2, we say for subtraction, and we also print this guy and say if they choose 3 for modification, 3 for modification, and we'll say print also if they choose 4, say for division. Okay, then after this we're gonna now take input from the user. So we say print, but before then we can do something. So let's define our choice. So choice is equals to the input so we say enter your choice, enter your choice. If you want to choose 1, 2, 3 or 4, you can do that. We close this guy. Okay, so after here now we can just do one more thing and say maybe the person choose 1, 2 or 3 or what have you. So we say if this person, now try to put some conditions in and say num is equals to integer because we are dealing with numbers, and import enter first number since it's we are dealing with a calculator that takes 2 numbers. So num you can say num1, num2 is integer also, and import enter the second number. So now we'll say if this choice is equals to 1, if the choice is equals to 1, we should do something. We should print num1 plus num2 is equals to the function we define, which is the addition function, and repeat the same thing. So else if maybe the option is not this one, then we can say else if the choice is equals to 2. Okay, if the choice is equals to 2, we should print num2. We use the same num1, So 2 is for subtraction. So num1 minus num1 minus, what am I doing here? Num1 minus this guy, num2 is then equals to, we use the subtraction that we defined, subtract x and z, and x and y. Still, yet and still, if this choice is not what the person wants or what they chose, if probably the 3, then we said if it is 3, we should now print num1. So 3 is for multiplication, num1 times num1 times num2 is then equals to multiplication. Okay, or better still, if they didn't choose this guy, they choose the last one, maybe choose 4. So 4 is for division. So we say print num1 divide num2 is equals to division. Alright, but probably maybe this person try to do different things, so it's obvious that people might do different things at times. So if they try to do different things, we tell them that this is invalid import. So let's save this guy. Okay, so we can try this. So we come to here, take it back to where it was. So in this function, we should add this number and say num1 comma num2. We do this for all of them. Also in here we say num1 comma num2 for all of them. Num1 comma num2, and in this function num1 comma num2. Okay, let's run it again and see. So we save this guy and we run it. I choose same 3 just to verify if what we are doing is right, and I choose 3 again, and I choose 5. Ooh, it's still giving an error. Oh, bro, what do you want, bro? Okay. Okay, let's see something here. Let's get rid of this guy here. Let's get rid of this guy here. Let's get rid of this guy here. Right. And save this guy. We run it again. 3. I choose 3. And I choose 5. So now it says, boom, 3 times 3 equals 3 times 5 is 15. So we got it right? It's 8. So yeah, there you see it. Okay, so that was it. And if you have any question, you can leave your comment, and we're going to try to address it. So later on, maybe another day, we're going to modify this code and make it more, a kind of beautiful. But this is just it. Like all of these ones, at first you have to define the functions that you want to use. If you just want this to calculate or to use 3 multiplication, subtraction, addition, you can define them. So you can define as many functions as you want, but basically we define just the 3 functions. And after that, you have to print out all of the choices for these 3 functions. So the first one is add. It doesn't matter, you can put these ones in any orders. Doesn't matter if you do it in a chronological order. And also here you define your choice. So if the person choose 1, 2, 3, or 4, then it should be able to jump to a certain place. And here we get the 2 numbers from the person. We get the first number and the second number. So here if the person choose 1, that means they want to add. So we should now print. So here we can be able to move all of these things and put different things here for better description. But basically this is what we need. You say add, and in the parenthesis you put the 2 numbers from here. So we are adding these 2 numbers that the person will import. So the first number and the second number is what we put here, number 1, number 2. You cannot put 2 and this because maybe the sign might have some problem with the sign, just in case it's a negative and positive number. Okay, that's all, and thanks for watching.